Well, that was scary. It made my eyes roll funny. Hi, this is Mia. I'm sorry if this video was scary. The computer was completely frozen. I am angry because my kid was trying to say something in his own sign language, and I was like, forgot what key was in real language, and he got mad. And I was like, it's days like this where it's so hard to be a single parent, to be alone, and it's like I went out to the Walgreens and came back, of course. Cars up and down the street, kids up and down the street, babies running around almost in front of my car. Luckily I think I saw him. I don't know. If I was driving, I could have hit the little boy, but they had like a cars parked on the street, and it's a one-way street, but the people park next to the parallel park cars, and then you had to squeeze by them. So this kid is running, darting between the cars. I was like, ugh. And I see these people blasting Middle Eastern music, this old grandma lady looking person, and I was like, is it a holiday? And my other friend I saw yesterday blocking the street, 3 generations of family in the car, and I just get heartbroken because I'm so alone and fatigued and haven't even been able to find a church where people don't treat me like some alien that's gonna swallow them by eating them head first, and like the way people purposely avoid me and look the other way, and I just feel like then I come home, my own family is aggressive, like being teens or being aggressive, and it's just like I remember Grandma calling and talking to my mom a lot. I remember Grandma treating my mom like if there was any head. Grandma calling for our birthdays and talking to us and singing to us, and my aunt, and I remember going on trips with Grandma and Mom, or just Grandma, or just Mom. It's just so different. It's just so weird to think like how it would be if you had an adult, even if it's not a kid's dad, or even if it's not a grandma, to have another adult in your family or in your community that can offer support. I was praying and asking other people to pray for a classmate, we're not in school anymore, but who was in the middle of that earthquake. They don't have any power, water, or electricity, or phone, or whatever, I don't know, and I just feel like they weren't in the house, they were traveling or something, but they heard, I don't know how they found out their house was destroyed, but they're alive, and people hurt, and everyone was doing everything about praying and sending money and sending supplies and food, and I'm just like, it's weird because that's like, it's like, when I had my automobile accident, I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. I didn't eat. I couldn't feed the kids. And I just feel like, I was like, where was the help? Where was the support? And I was grumpy about it. I was like, oh well, it just goes to show, And I was grumpy because I was like, then today there's a guy asking at the store for help or use a phone and all this stuff. I'm like, no, we can't give you a phone. And then he was like, excuse me, and I didn't know what he was saying, and I'm like in the car, or going to my car with this groceries. I always have a hard time keeping my car at automobile accident injuries, but it's like, what am I gonna do, And I wanted to get out early. People are still driving crazy at 8 something in the morning on Sunday, but I've been up since 5 something too. I can't sleep, my shoulder pain, and it's a nightmare. But I gotta go out and get my books. This guy was like, man, something, I couldn't understand. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have that. Because there's another woman following out. He didn't say anything to her, but I was like, well, here I am, spending all morning, all week, all month, all year, complaining about no one helps me, and some strangers coming out to me trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to keep this cart from pulling my shoulder out of socket, and cause I had bottled water in there, and that's the main reason I went to the store, and I'm just like, I'm sad because I remember something too. I should have paid for my company stuff with my company money. Anyways, I felt bad because I'm wanting help, and I was just like, and this guy is a stranger. Like, I've been ripped off by strangers. I feel being alone as a woman. I've been hurt and assaulted before, and having a lot of stuff stolen from me. It's like, if you needed money or a phone or something, like, I don't know if I can just trying to be holding this cart, trying to get your car outside with no other witnesses, trying to think about going through my purse, or, a couple people, one or two people, I forget, had their cell phone, people asked to borrow their cell phone or something, and they just got it ripped. Like, two people recently had their cell phones ripped out of their hand, or they let someone use it and they ran or whatever, and I'm just like it's a material thing. I always think, what would the people in the church say? Not necessarily, they may not be. Oh, you didn't help someone. I remember having someone needing a phone because my car got stolen and no one would help me, and then one person did, and I was desperate, and I actually was on campus of Portland State University, and the security came and left and said, we're not going to help you. So I was standing out there hours in the dark in the parking garage. The dude in the kiosk let me use his phone because my phone was broken. And the phone was like, it didn't hold a charge in the battery, and my kids were at daycare, which closed at 6. I was on my way to the car in the daycare, and then this is one of those things where the battery, it would just keep shutting off. Occasionally you can get it to work. It was just old busted up phone, and then I was able to have the number in the phone, because nowadays with cell phone you just call. It's not necessarily memorizing or writing down emergency numbers, and calling mentors who live near the school to pick up the kids and meet me. And because it was like, you get off the highway and you go to the parking garage. It's not like, even if you walk, it's not like, I never knew the streets. I never knew the cross streets. When I go to a campus, it's like, okay, this is the school, you get off, you park, and you walk. And I didn't know what it was. And I was trying to walk back out and to the corner and find cross streets and tell them, get off the freeway and, go in there, parking garage 3, I don't know, it was a mess. And do I know how it does not have security say, oh, your car got stolen on our campus, on our property. That's the city's responsibility, and they left, and just to be like, I wish I could have, they had 24-hour police office on campus. I wish I could have been able to sit there, because all their campus buildings were closed. It was evening. I was sitting there for hours waiting for my kids and the police. If I could have been able to go to the security or the officer, because I think they were real police officers, if they would allow me to go and sit in their office, if they would have allowed me to use their phone or their bathroom or get a drink of water, instead of just standing on a corner trying to talk to strangers into letting me use their phone. I'm just disappointed, but then this guy's talking to me, I don't understand, I'm going in, and then I'm like, oh gosh, this is what people are talking about, I'm sitting here grumbling about not helping, and then somebody else is asking for help, and I'm not, and I was like, oh, it's one of those things you feel like, it's one of those things you feel like, goes around, comes around. Like, well, this is why I don't get help. And I've had people chasing me around the grocery stores when I had, like, welfare, and I was like, I got, like, $12 of, I can get my kids food, $12 worth of food, like, counting to $1, you know, take scrap paper and adding up. It's like, because I was that mom that would always get groceries and afford this, I think I can afford bananas, I think I can get grapes, and then it would be like, boom. Can't afford this, take this out, take this, all these items I had to put back on the shelf, and I felt, like, sick. I would always be sweating every time I went to the store, I'd always be sweating, never had enough money. Sometimes, like, I swore I added that in my head, they think they ripped me off or something, and I had thought, you know, that when my friend is in an earthquake, yesterday, or the day before, it was 24 hours, I don't know, their time, in there, it's also, everyone's asking everyone for their prayer, a lot of us know this person personally, known them for 5 or 6 years, and it's like, that's not necessarily, you know, right. It was sad to say that I had, like I said, been trusting of strangers and been assaulted or robbed or, you know, just different things have happened, and I was like, wow, I'm a sucker for doing that. And I talked to somebody's missionary relative, or I think, you know, we had this guy at the old church, his brother was a missionary in Latin America somewhere, or Mexico, I don't know where, and his parents were in the ministry, and they came and preached, and I think they told a story. I don't know if they just told it to the congregation or to me. They were talking about helping, like in the 80s or the 70s, you know, how the man, this white man, would help everyone, who would pick up all the hitchhikers, who would let people stay in his house, would, you know, if he was out of town in a hotel and someone needed a place to stay, let him stay there with him, and all this stuff. And he's like, I asked God to help guide me to help others. And a woman from Europe had said similar thing, but it was more like a restaurant, asking people to pray. And my stupid timer keeps going off. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. It's like, actually push reset. Okay. My water's probably burned. But, my kids moving around. The door's open. Hold on.